What if I told you that in the middle of one of your hardest parenting moments, when you feel the most exposed, judged, and alone, someone could step in and change everything without saying a single word? Today's episode is about the moments that stayed with me for years and might just restore a little hope in yours. If you're tired of feeling helpless during your son's meltdowns and isolated by the stress it brings to your family, and you want simple steps to open communication, reduce outbursts, and bring more peace to your home, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Cynthia, wife and boy mom. I remember having a child who looked typical, but spent hours falling apart at home. I learned how to stay confident during the stress of meltdowns and build connection without resorting to heavy-handed parenting. If you're ready to reduce the meltdowns and aggressive behavior and finally see that what you're doing is actually helping, then grab my hand. I am the mom you've been waiting to meet. Some of the most difficult moments as a mom, when your child struggles with transitions, erupts daily, and has unique sensory needs, is going to public places. Not that it's easy to just stay in our homes, because explosive meltdowns can happen there too. And as alone as you feel when you are by yourself and all heck breaks loose with your child, trying to get out of the house to do stuff means that you're faced with people that might see these things happen. And with this comes stress and anxiety. If we are honest, their questioning eyes and possibly judgy reactions stir up fear. This is not in our heads, right? I mean, it's happened to us. Laser glares across the room, muffled whispers as people pass by, or loud remarks yelled across the parking lot. Yep, you've experienced these things. These experiences can hurt deeply, whether it's someone you know well, like a family or friend, or an acquaintance. And it can linger, going around and around in your head, even when it comes from a stranger. Today, I want to talk about the flip side of that. I want to highlight the caring souls that came in and offered support in the hardest of moments, but they affected my life and heart as a mom forever. On vacation in Cranbrook, BC, it was a cool summer day. We were there visiting new friends, doing a little exploring, and trying to enjoy some of the downtown area, all surrounded by mountains. My son was out of sorts, in a very dysregulated state. He was nonverbal by this point and not responding to much of what we tried. We were staying in a hotel there, so our only option was to eat out. So we picked a pizza place because we had hoped there would be less of a pushback to that choice. He was still very agitated, but followed in. By the time we used the washroom and got settled at the booth, I was crying into my hands. I was very thankful that the restaurant was mostly empty, as I was embarrassed by how overwhelmed I was. Within moments and through my tears, I saw the hands of our waitress set a steaming pot and mug in front of me. But I haven't even looked at the menu yet, I thought to myself. None of us had ordered anything. My face was hot and my tears red and puffy. I couldn't even look at her. No words were exchanged between us. I steadied my gaze on the tea she brought. My hands came together to hug the warm mug and bring it to my lips, shaking hands and all. It instantly quieted all that was out of sync within me. How did she know what I needed right then? She took a risk, and I've never forgotten her kindness and strength. And the cost of that tea was not on the bill. Another moment that stayed with me, one particularly difficult day, we carried our flailing son into the school. It severely added to his stress at the time and prolonged the intensity of the dysregulation. So we ended up in a back office to see if we could help him settle and get to his classroom at some point that day. He curled up on my lap and buried his face in my chest. Nothing verbal in the way of words, just whimpering and grunts with huge tears on his cheeks. We sat like this for 30 minutes or more when his teacher came in with a classroom lizard. Spike was a bearded dragon, and my son loved him. She reached out and put Spike on his chest. My son lifted his hand and gently placed it on the lizard, using one finger to stroke its head. Her gesture moved a mountain. that day for me, my husband, and on the inside of our son. There's nothing small about these stories. They are moments of simple gestures that radically changed circumstances and made a lasting impact for our family. And both of them happened 10 to 15 years ago. Each of these women could have thought that they didn't make much of a difference at all, but they massively turned things around for us in a way that helped us feel seen and known and supported. They didn't even say anything. It was what they offered. Our hard days were made a little bit easier. Think of a time when someone has offered support or encouragement to you in a way that you didn't expect. In a way where you felt seen and known, with no judgment and no advice. Yet it brought you peace and calm to a day where you felt stuck and overwhelmed. Would you share it with me? Put it in the comments below or send me a private email. I'd love to hear about it. Hey Mama, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and share it with a friend who may be on an uphill battle with her son's unique challenges? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It lights me up to know this podcast is helping you. All right, time to breathe and know that you have everything inside of you to courageously raise your brilliant son. I'll meet you back next week for another episode. Bye.